Well, let's shift our focus now to the appointments made by the President Muhammadu Buhari. The Secretary to the Government of the Federation is now Babachir Lawal, the NSA, Babagana Munguno, and Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina. These are the men. Now, the President's appointment so far doesn't reflect federal character. Matter of fact, a section of the country says that it is marginalized in the appointment made so far. Mr. Chude Achike, a policy analyst, joins me right now to look at the issues on State of the Nation. One, thank you so much indeed for your time. Is it really too early to judge from the appointment seen so far by Mr. President that the key positions are from the north?
If we had a scenario where out of 100% of appointments to be made, the president had concluded about 70 to 80% of those appointments, and they were all skewed in favor of a particular section of the country, the north, as people are saying, then we could say, yes, it is too late for the president to balance his appointments. But what we have seen, if you're looking at all the political appointments that will be done by Mr. President, we have seen perhaps about 5 to 10% of all the appointments that will be made. And so what it tells you is that we still have a very long way to go in terms of the appointments that the president will be making. And so the fears that have been expressed in some quarters, I think at this particular point in time that these fears are unfounded. The reality is that, like I said, we still have a very long way to go. And the president, I believe, is very conscious of the role that he has to play in history. He's very conscious of the nuances of this country. He's conscious of the dynamics that play out in this country. And I believe that being conscious of all of these things, all of these dynamics, that he knows what to do. The fears that have been expressed in some quarters, I think at this particular point in time that these fears are unfounded. The reality is that, like I said, we still have a very long way to go. And the president, I believe, is very conscious of the role that he has to play in history. He's very conscious of the nuances of this country. He's conscious of the dynamics that play out in this country. And I believe that being conscious of all of these things, all of these dynamics, that he knows what to do.
Tell us, what elements should be loudest in this appointments? Should it be trust in who he works with, or federal character reflection in his appointments?
For now, Gimba, these are the people that are known to him. The president has not really been a politician, really. Yes, he has made forays into the political terrain of the country. He has contested the presidency about 3-4 times or so. But all of this, why he has not really been one of them in terms of the political class. So what it means is that he has a small group of people, acquaintances and friends and so on. These are the people he knows. These are the people that he trusts. These are the people he has worked with and dealt with and related with in the past. So it is expected that, and I think it's a very natural human phenomenon, that when you find yourself in a position of power, and you have to, and there's so much responsibility, trust on your shoulders, and you now have to appoint people that will work with you. You want to go, you cannot go beyond the circle that you're comfortable with. You cannot go beyond those people that you know. You understand? It is after you have exhausted that. Unfortunately, the people that are, close to the president that he trusts are people that he has interacted with over time. And they tend to be people from the north. I think it's just natural. But like I said, a time is going to come, and very soon, when the president will not have to go beyond the close circle of friends that he knows and begin to appoint, other people. At that moment, he will have no choice than to rely on the political class, on the politicians. But we all know, again, the trademark of the every Nigerian politician. Those people who have risen very high in the political, configuration in this country, in most cases, are people who have had one kind of compromise or the other that tend to undermine their credibility and their integrity. So these are some of the problems that, like I said, the president is being confronted with.
At this point, does it really matter if he has a reflection of federal character in his kitchen cabinet?
Every political leader must have, and I think it's natural that he has a very close circle of political associates and advisors that he has confidence in, These are the people you call the kitchen cabinet. In most cases, these are people that have the ears and the minds of Mr. President. And so the tendency is that he's going to listen. Like I said, it's about people he knows, it's about people he trusts. And so definitely they are going to have an influence on him. But the only thing some of us will be looking at is that he is very careful about the people that constitute his kitchen cabinet. Definitely, a lot of the things that are going to eventually translate to policy might be coming from that, kitchen cabinet. But I want to also believe that they are aware that whatever decision or policy that is going to come out of government must be in consonance with the interests of the federal government. I see a president that is committed to this country, a president that is desirous of leaving an indelible mark in this country. And I think that as much as possible, all of us should give him the support that is needed. I believe that, but the president, I know that he needs to widen his net.
But the big one, and so many people are expecting this, is the ministerial appointments. 3 months and a couple of days down the line into this administration, and no word still just yet. Remember, the president said that the announcement will be made this month of September, hopefully any time from now. And the people from the East who are saying that they are being marginalized, what do you think this will mean for them?
Well, you see, the president has found himself in a very difficult situation. Somebody told me, gave me an example of, was telling me about a cartoon recently, I think in one of the national dailies, I think it is the Guardian newspaper, that depicted the president praying to God and asking him to send sense from heaven. The reality is that the president finds himself in a situation where virtually almost everybody within the political class has one stigma or the other on his person. And the president wants to make a mark in this country. And so he has found himself in a situation where he has to go for those people that he knows, those people that he trusts. And these are people that are essentially outside of the political class. You will have a few smattering of politicians here and there in his appointments and the rest. But if you look at it, these are people he has had some level of personal relationship with. And he feels very confident knowing that he feels very confident knowing that he can trust these people. A time is going to come when the president has to go beyond himself to make these appointments, where he has to go to the politicians, and get recommendations in terms of those people that he's going to appoint. But at this particular point in time, I don't think he has run out of those people that he knows and trusts, in the ability to deliver on the expectations that he has in them. The issue of federal character, I think at this particular point in time, it is too early. And again, if you consider the trend of discussion or discourse over this particular issue, a lot of people have been very, very upset. But there are some people that are saying, look, for so long have we laid credence, to parochial and primordial sentiments like ethnicity and religious chauvinism, that this is the time to go beyond this. And so if the president has taken it upon himself to appoint people that are going to deliver, that we have had over 50 years of, unfulfilled expectations. And so it doesn't really matter so much. We need to play down some of these sentiments. But like I said, the president is obviously aware that he needs to do a lot of some balancing. And I believe that he's going to do that with time. 3 months, for goodness sake, is not and never enough. Nobody has ever given any government in this country, even the previous administration, 3 months to begin to perform. You understand? I think the expectations and the pressure begins to mount after 6 months. Even though the 6 months itself is not enough, but 3 months, for goodness sake, is too little.
Thank you so much indeed for your time and your thoughts, Mr. Chude Achike. We appreciate your time. Now, if corruption is a crime, we ask, who's committing it? That's when State of the Nation returns. Stay with us.